Alright folks, Pitching Ace 88, we are back. Playing Criminal Case on Facebook, Pacific Bay, Inner City, case number 12, Payback. Going on to chapter number 2. I'd like to thank you all for liking and comment the previous video, and for subscribing. I have just hit 20,000 subscribers. Yes, 20,000. That means that there's 20,000 people that hit the subscribe button to support me. That is incredible. I have to thank you all for that. And if you haven't subscribed, keep subscribing. I would like to get up to a higher number. Anyways, Commissioner Ace, I hacked into the Pacific Bay prison servers and I found out where your victim had been living since his release from prison. And you'll never guess where. David Brightman had been living at the synagogue. At the synagogue? But wait a minute, how can he have lived there? It's a place of worship, not an inn. You're right, Ace. The best way to know what he was doing there is to go take a look. Let's go to the synagogue. Interesting. Very curious. So yeah, guys, 20,000. I've been doing this since July of 2009, so it's been almost 4 years. And I've just surpassed 20,000. That is absolutely incredible. I have all of you guys to thank. It is literally blows my mind. It is so awesome. Alright, let's see what we got. Scroll, blackboard stand, Moses basket, faded card, sunscreen, clothes box. There we go. And I got magnifier master, which basically means I use those hints at the bottom. I told you guys that in a previous video. I'll show you guys that when I get to the next scene and I have to look at it. But you have to use them 500 times, and I've done them 500 times. So what a beautiful place, Commissioner Ace. I've never had a chance to enter a synagogue before. And you're right, back to work. You think there's something relevant in that box of clothes donation? I hope you'll find it. And you found a business card for Yuan's garden. Isn't Yuan Wong that old herbalist we met in our previous investigation? I knew the name rang a bell. Yeah, nicely spotted. Something was written on that card. We better try and recover what it was. And you're right, there's also the rabbi. He's been wanting to talk to you. His name is Jacob Fishman. Since the victim slept here, he might have valuable information. Let's examine some of this stuff though first. Oh, it's gonna be Hebrew. Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know. Oh, it's Chinese actually. Perfect as always, Ace. You've uncovered what used to be written on that business card. Let's see what it says. Oh dear, it's Chinese symbols, but I don't know what they mean, Ace. I took Spanish as a second language in school. Yeah, so did I. You're right. We should send that note to Hannah. She'll know how to translate those characters. And I'll bet you anything, it only takes Hannah less than 5 minutes. How long does it take her? 6 hours. Okay. Maybe it's not the Chinese she knows. Alright, there's gotta be something in these clothes. It's gonna be a big hint. I can just feel it. Oh, his cell phone. Nice. Whoa, people are really generous. Someone donated a phone to the synagogue. I hadn't seen the victim's name was written on the phone. Of course, that's why you picked it up. The phone is locked though. Do you think you can find the right code, Ace? Come on, really? Can I find the right code? I haven't been doing over like 65 cases while not knowing how to break a code. So that's probably an R. Yep, that's a Y. That's probably a... No, that's a B. Ooh, still 9. Nice. I don't even need energy, but... Great job unlocking the phone, Commissioner Ace, but it's weird. There's only one message on it. I'll only help you out of pity. You ruined my life. I'll never forgive you. And it was sent by Eva, the victim's daughter. You're right, Ace. Doesn't fit with what she told us. She seemed eager to live with her dad again. We have to talk to her. So what's up, Eva? Eva, we know you weren't as happy about your father's return as you pretended. Commissioner Ace found the message you sent him. Of course I was angry. He destroyed my life. He abandoned me. He got himself caught. And I had to grow up without my father. And he comes back 25 years later and he thinks he can just waltz back into my life? That he can just make it up to me? You have no idea how hard it was. We didn't have any money. I used to go to bed with just a cup of tea. Kids at school made fun of me. It was a nightmare. And just when I thought it was all behind me, Dad comes back without an ounce of remorse. He couldn't understand what I had been through because of him. It's too late for him to make amends now. Dad's associates, they used to call him the Wolf, you know. They should have called him the Cuckoo. The Wolf. Well, that's not a very nice nickname. That sounds a little dangerous, to be honest with you. Hello, Commissioner Ace. To what do I owe the pleasure? Here, let me make you some tea. Mr. Fishman, I'm afraid that David Brightman has been murdered this morning. We learned he's been sleeping here since his release from prison. Murdered? Oh, it's horrible. Why would anyone want to do that? David was an ex-con, it's true, but he was trying to turn his life around. He had nowhere to go after his release from prison, so I offered to let him stay here until he could find proper accommodations. I knew him before he was incarcerated. I saw him for Sabbath. He was a nice man, if you forgave his illegal activities, of course. I have to admit, David seemed to have a lot on his mind lately, though. He spent a lot of time at the train station just sitting and thinking. Ah, so we gotta go back there. Poor Mr. Brightman tried really hard to turn his life around. And you're right, Ace. We've got to find this killer as soon as possible. And Mr. Fishman mentioned that David spent a lot of time at the train station. Might be a good idea to go back there. What do you think, Ace? I think that's a brilliant idea. Great minds think alike. I also like that because I'm going to grab some more stuff without having to use cash to speed up the lab. So, woohoo! Yay for me. Alright, trash bag. Oh, okay, trash bag. Where's the torn article? Torn article. Jackhammer, US flag, skateboard, newspaper. Lucky find. Boom, cash. Did you find interesting things on the train station, Ace? You think there's something in that trash bag? Well, I hope you took gloves. And that newspaper article you found is completely torn up. People in the city really need to take better care of their belongings. Do you think you can restore that article, Ace? I'll bet you anything that article leads to a reason as to why this guy was called the Wolf. Sorry about that, guys. Text message. Phone is blowing up. This is not a phone call from work. That would be bad. I told you. That article we found in the train station is about our victim's arrest. It must be at least 25 years old. What does it say, Ace? Apparently the robbery that caused David's arrest was a messy affair. One of his associates was killed. And the name of the dead associate was Isaac Miller. The same name as Miriam Miller, who owns the deli where your victim was killed, Ace. You're right, Ace. She must be his daughter. But she didn't mention that she had a history with the victim. She better tell us everything this time. All I'm going to say is that this case is labeled Payback, and this could very well be Payback. I'm just throwing it out there. Could very well be. I would probably peg her right off the bat for this murder. Oh dear, that pocket knife you found in the trash bag is covered in blood. And you're right, we have to send that knife to Jan right away before possible evidence gets ruined by contamination. Oh snap, 15 hours? Oh, only 12 hours. That was actually kind of nice of them. Miriam, you never mentioned that the man murdered in your deli was working with your father on robberies. Of course I didn't. It would make me the perfect suspect, but since you know that much, I might as well tell you everything. Let me just put my tea away. My father was working with Brightman on his robberies. He was a safecracker. His nickname was the Fox. I was very proud to be his daughter. Mrs. Miller, with all due respect, your father was illegal. My father took pride in his work. You cops, you think life easily divided between the good guys and the bad guys? My father just did what he was best at. But David, he never had enough. That last robbery, he didn't listen to my dad's warning. He made them stay too long on the crime scene. And the police arrived. A shooting broke out and my dad was caught in the crossfire. It's all Brightman's fault. If he had listened, Dad would still be alive. So I'm not sad he died, and I'm sure I won't mourn him. I'm glad that someone finally avenged my father. Yeah, someone says that you might have done that. But anyways, guys, we gotta wait 12 more hours. to get over there unless you guys hit 200 likes on the previous video, and we shall see. So if you guys want the next video, chapter 3, and figure out who the murderer is, like and comment down below. See you guys all in a little bit. This is Pitching Ace 88. Au revoir. Alright folks, Pitching Ace 88, and we are back. I'd like to give a shout out to Mahmoudar Rahman, Irfan Zabar, Christina G, and Crash91. Thank you guys for commenting on the Insane Aquarium and on Chapter 1. For Chapter 2, if you guys comment and like, that would be awesome. And also, the video in question that'll give you guys extra stuff will be Jade Empire, Bioware game along the same vein as Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic. But anyways, as we're waiting, or I guess as we've already waited, let's select this. So, Choi Translation Services at your service, Ace. So I ran the Chinese characters through the business card you found in the synagogue through the computer. And they've been written by a lovesick poet with dreadful grammar. It roughly translates into "My little dragon of love." No way Mrs. Wong would have written that. It's preschool level. Yeah, you're right, Ace. Since we found that card where the victim was sleeping, it must be David who wrote those words. Do you think this means that David Brightman was linked romantically to Yuan Wong? Ace, let's go see her. Huh. That would be very, very interesting. As you see, I've gotten a few stars. Great job, Commissioner Ace. The blood on the pocket knife you found is your victim's. That means you just found your murder weapon. I couldn't find any other biological imprint, but I noticed something on the inside of the knife itself. There's a tiny screw stuck inside. It's a type of screw used for glasses. It was small enough to get stuck inside the pocket knife. Which means your killers wears glasses, Commissioner Ace. And if they thought you wouldn't figure it out, they've got another thing coming. Huh, interesting. I'll bet you almost everyone wears glasses. Yep, she definitely does. So Mrs. Wong, it seems David Brightman wrote a message on this card about a little dragon of love. Was he talking about you? You're talking about him in the past tense, Commissioner Ace. That means he's dead, isn't he? Every time you come to see me, it's to announce someone's death. But to answer your question, yes, I was David's little dragon of love. David and I, well, we had an affair a long time ago. No one ever knew about it. We had to keep it a secret from my husband. But when I was with him, I felt invincible. But then he went to jail, and I decided to commit myself entirely to my family. It all seems so far away now, part of another life. I'm afraid it's all I have to say about this, Commissioner Ace. Now please, let an old woman mourn her lost love. I need a cup of tea and some peace. Oh, so this could be payback from her husband. Interesting. Well, what a curious case, Ace. I wouldn't mind taking a minute to recap it all, wouldn't you? We met with Rabbi Fishman, who tried to help our victim reintegrate into society. He was letting him sleep at his synagogue. He also learned the truth about Eva's deep-seated resentment for her father. And then there's that role our victim played in the death of Miriam Miller's own father, who used to do robberies with Brightman until he was shot by the police. Hey, you're right, Ace. Let's not forget that David Brightman had an affair with Yuan Wong when they were younger. It's so unexpected. Hey, Commissioner Ace, I have something for you. Remember that love message from your victim, Yuan Wong, my little dragon of love? Well, I researched your victim's history, and I learned of some of his old associates. Code names. You already know of the Fox, Isaac Miller. David Brightman was the Wolf, and so on, for every one of his associates, until I found the one called the Dragon. Catch my drift, Ace? That's right, it wasn't just a message of love, it was a code name. Yuan Wong must have worked with your victim on one of his robberies. Oh, what? Oh, snap. Yuan is a sneaky little person. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for chapter number 3, man. This is gonna get intense. See you guys all in a little bit. I've been Pitching Ace 88. Over and out.